And hello everyone, it is Maud from Maud's Ways, and today we are doing a career mode for Formula 1 2014, and today we are at the Australian Grand Prix for our first episode. We qualified first on the grid, so without further ado, let's go racing here in the Australian Grand Prix. 5 red lights and we're underway for the Australian Grand Prix here, season 1 of our career mode in Formula 1. So we take it into the first corner pretty nicely, get that run off of Rosberg. Now this is a Mercedes track for Nico Rosberg, as he is really good on it. So here we come into the next corner here in the hairpin. Going through that really nice. We get that nice gap early on because we want to try and build a lead on Rosberg here, because this is his track to race at, and I'll tell you what I mean. So here we come into turn number 5, and we kind of lose part of it, sort of. So as the lead is a 1.4 second gap over to Nico Rosberg. And there we go, we just overdrive the corner there into the grass, but we maintain first still as we got out of that. A little grass on our tires, on our option tires, but that's alright. And here we come into the new corner. So we're expected to pit on lap 7 of this race. And here we go. I really don't know what I'm saying. I'm just giving you a first lap stuff. And here we go, we overdrive the corner as Rosberg pushes us, and we spin out and we collect Hamilton with us as well. And we go spinning around and we let the rest of the field pass by. That's kind of unfortunate of what just happened there with us and Rosberg, or Hamilton. We kind of lost it, but Rosberg was kind of pushing us there in that final corner. But we lost it, and now we're in the back of the field pretty much. So now we need to get to the front of the field, or at least in point position wise, to get off to a good Grand Prix start, because that was just not a good start for us in this Grand Prix. And now we need to catch up to Rosberg now if we want to win this Grand Prix. We're only 1.2 seconds behind Sudal, and you probably just heard that. Sorry, I'm playing with my... Never mind. Anyway, here we come, and we make contact there with Vern, and then here's Kobayashi and Sudal. We get with Kobayashi in the back, we lose the end of it, and we've spun around, and now we are in last place of this Grand Prix. This is just not how we wanted to start off our Grand Prix, or our career series. Anyways, let's kick it off. That's pretty unfortunate there. But here, coming in to the end of lap 2, catching up to the back of the field, and we go to the inside of Bianchi and Chilton, and now that puts us in P20. Still not in points position. We're actually worse than we were earlier. But here we go. We got the run off Ericsson going down the front stretch as DRS is enabled, and that was just really unfortunate to see us crash there earlier, but you know, anyways. So here's Kobayashi now. So you get up, we gotta take that corner there, and we kinda cut him off there, but we take it wide in the long run, so we didn't have that wreck again. And here we go, coming into the next scene here, lap 4, and you can see we lose it again, sort of, as we're catching up to Kvyat for P15, and in front of him is Jensen Button. Maybe get around him into the final kind of chicane area, if you would say, but we catch up to him. And we're just gonna take this down nice and easy now, no matter. And we just, what was I doing there? We just got into the back end of Jensen Button there. I don't know what I was doing. I'm surprised we didn't get a penalty for aggressive driving. Or we didn't lose any of our front wing, thankfully. But, you know, now we're just going to focus who's ahead of us on the road, down the road. We're not going to look behind us at this point because there's really no important driver behind us at this point. So here we are on lap 5 as we're trying to catch up to Maldonado here. Maldonado and Perez, we just got to catch him. And, you know, it's going to be tough trying to get back into the field here because now all the drivers ahead of us don't really worry about it, or me at the moment. So, you know, this isn't good for us. And I'm trying to look at my recording here because I'm recording this, and it's just dead frozen, so I can't see how where I'm at in the video, which kind of sucks. But at least the video is still playing. So, anyways, coming here into the final few corners here for lap 5 in P14, Maldonado is right ahead of us, followed by Perez, and we can kind of see the top 10 in this few corners here. So lap 5, two laps away from our pit strategy of when we're supposed to go in for prime tires, and we are just, you know, just gonna race our race. And there we dive bomb under Maldonado there. And now, ooh, I apologize, Gutierrez, not Perez, Gutierrez. So we gotta catch him as we just dive bomb Maldonado there into the first turn. And we'll probably dive bomb Gutierrez here into this turn, and we do. But we make the nice clean pass around Gutierrez. And now our next opponent on the grid to get to the points is Romain Grosjean. So here we go. Now we need to catch him. And there we go. Coming over to the towards the lake area of this track. What was that? Was that a glitch I just saw? I'm gonna have to rewind that and play that back. And here, no wonder why, because I cut out to lap 7. That's what happened. Never mind. And I gotta stop playing with this and making noise in the background. So here we go. We're supposed to come in. They said we were supposed to come back out onto the track on in P14, but to spoil it, we ended up coming back out in P12, so we kind of started to pull away there. Got a warning for corner cutting there. I didn't really think that was a corner cutting penalty to me, but the stewards thought it was too. So here we go, coming into the first stop of the day here of the Australian Grand Prix in our career mode of Season 1. Here we are driving with Scouty Ferrari here. And beautiful pit stop there by the guys. Great job, 3.8. And now with just pure racing from here on out, we need to get it going now if we want to get back in this. But we are now 2 spots out. We're actually 1 spot out of the point standings. We actually were in it at P9, and yeah, because I kind of cut it out. And there, I just cut it out again. Skipped to lap 11 there, because we were pretty far behind. So I didn't think those passes were that all necessary. So here we're catching up to the people here, our 5 drivers right here. This is for P4 if we can get around all of them within 4 laps. And this is going to be the hard part here, getting around all 4 of them. With only 4 laps to go, with not much time left, just a little mistake will cost us this race. But you know, we need to get back up in there if we want to gradually get more points by the end of this Grand Prix. And there we see Lewis Hamilton, who we wrecked with earlier. I'm not surprised if he's back here because we kind of wrecked him earlier. So, and here is Nico Hulkenberg. We have a 0.3 of a second lead on him, or behind him, excuse me. And so, you know, now we're in P8 with only 3 laps left, and we just set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, that's pretty nice. But our engine is starting to overheat now as we just dive bomb up the middle, Vettel and Hulkenberg for P6. And now we only just have Massa and Vettel now to go Vettel. I think we just passed him. Never mind. But we do have Moss up the road here for Williams Racing, and we need to get around him. Our teammate right now is currently in 3rd place, and that's probably the finishing position he's going to get if he doesn't make any more mistakes here. And here we dive bomb Williams, or Massa here, excuse me, but we do end up making contact with him, and that is not what you want to make going into a turn, is making contact. That's the worst thing and the least thing you want to do when going into a turn. Oh, here we go, leaving the lake section of the track. We're up into P5. Now we have Kevin Magnussen here, and we need to get around him as soon as possible because we are coming down to 2 to go now. This next time by, and you know, the more points, the better. The higher the position, the more points you're gonna get. So we need to get around him to get the maximum points after our earlier collision with Lewis Hamilton in this turn exactly. So here we go, coming down the front stretch. We need to get around Kevin Magnussen, and here is a few words of wisdom by our crew chief. I don't know if you heard that or not, but we need to get around him as soon as possible. That's what he said, because we only have 2 laps left in this Grand Prix. So once we get around him, then we'll be in P4, and our next opponent is Fernando Alonso, but he is 8 seconds up the road, so I don't really think we're going to get up to him in time by the end of this Grand Prix, so that's kind of unfortunate. So here, coming in on the final lap, we're just getting up to a lapped car here, as Fernando made his way around him. But anyways, nothing really happened in the rest of those 2 laps. So here it is, the final lap of this Grand Prix. We're coming around the final corner. Nico Rosberg takes the checkered flag. And I told you before, this is his track, and he won. So you saw where we were, and you know where the finish is, so you can kind of tell the gap. So anyways, coming down the final few corners here of the Australian Grand Prix to finish off the first episode. And without further ado, we will take 4th place in the Australian Grand Prix. Now that was some nice racing there that we saw, but it wasn't enough to get a podium position as we were too far behind our teammate there. There's the race results. Nico Rosberg first, Daniel Ricciardo 2nd, Fernando Alonso 3rd, me 4th, Kevin Magnussen 5th, Felipe Massa 6th, Sebastian Vettel 7th, and Nico Hülkenberg 8th, Lewis Hamilton 9th, and Sergio Perez 10th. That sums up the points. And let's take a look at the Drivers' Championship standings, which that just happened, made me look like a retard. But without further ado, that's going to be it, and I will see you all guys in the next episode. Peace.